Hello class, this is Dr. Fish. Okay, so for your Module 1 paper, and I know I covered a lot of this in the announcement video, but I still want to emphasize something to you, and this is very important. Just a few tips real quick. I know some of you have already actually asked the question, do I have to have the introduction heading in my papers? APA no longer requires a heading for the introduction, just so you know it. But even if you include it, it's okay. Okay, it's not a big deal if you do include it, but just so you know that. But my focus here is mainly going to be on the problem statement and purpose, but mainly the problem statement. Let me tell you why. If you start off wrong and you have the wrong kind of problem statement, or you have too many different elements in the problem statement, you're going to be totally confused as to the direction that you need to go. So let me just mention that this is what I included in the email already, and then I'm going to come back and I'll show you what exactly does a problem statement look like. Okay, so first and foremost, this is something that is often missed, is at the beginning of underneath your heading that says problem statement is centered. All headings in this paper are going to be upper lowercase centered bold. Okay, that's just for this paper. Next week it's a little different, but this week all your headings are centered bold. Anyway, so after you put that heading there, underneath the very first sentence should be the problem statement, and you should start it as the problem is, and then you tell me what that one problem is. Okay. Number two, a problem statement should be listed at the beginning of the problem statement paragraph. All right, so I already mentioned that. And then problem statements should be short, not long. Okay, I don't want to see long elaboration, because what happens is, again, you get confused, especially going into next week when you have to do your literature review, and you put too much, you put everything in there, including the kitchen sink, in the problem statement. It has to be short, straight to the point. All right, that's what I'm looking for. Number four, problem statements focus on one problem. It's easy to say this and that. Okay, no, you're only going to focus on one problem. Think of one problem in your environment that you want to try to tackle. Okay, and again, everything that you talk about is going to be negative. Okay, so you mention that problem statement, keep it short and sweet, straight to the point, one problem, and then you can elaborate on things that contribute to that problem. Everything you talk about in that paragraph underneath, or following your problem statement, is going to be negative. Don't include anything positive. It is very easy, and I've seen it happen time and time again, to create a positive problem statement. We're talking about a problem. Okay, so we're talking about something negative. So remember that. And that's why I said number five, problem statements should not include conjunctions such as and. If you put a conjunction in your problem statement, I'm going to kick it right back to you, or deduct points depending on when I can catch it. If I can catch it early, then I'll send it back to you and I'll tell you how you need to rewrite this problem statement. You got too much into, you're trying to put too much into it. You want to keep it short, straight, simple, sweet, to the point. So let me show you, and I sent this too, and this is something that I'll do every week. I'll send a sample paper, I'll send a video. Make sure you pay close attention to it, but I'm not going to elaborate too much because I've already elaborated in the initial announcement video. But here, this is the very foundation of your research. And while I'm thinking about it, let me say this real quickly. Can my research change? What if next week, when you start doing your research, when you start digging deeper into the literature review, and you discover something else that you want to tackle, another problem, can you change it? Yes, that happens in research. It happens all the time. It is okay to do that, okay? So just keep that in mind. Now, notice the problem statement here. The problem is a teacher shortage in elementary schools, period. Love it. You see what I'm saying? Straight to the point. I mean, she got straight to the point, or this student got straight to the point. That's it. Short, sweet, simple problem statement. Okay? The problem is a teacher shortage in elementary schools. And then she started elaborating on all the different factors that contribute to the problem. Okay, nothing, you don't want to talk about anything positive. It's all negative, negative, negative. Okay, and notice how rich and thick this paragraph is. It keeps going and going. Paragraph should be at least 5 to 7 lines, but if you go beyond that, wonderful, great. It's okay, by the way, to do that. Now, that's the problem statement. But what about the purpose statement? Now, the purpose statement is just the opposite. It's going to deal with something that's positive. It's going to deal with solutions. So, and notice I said solutions, not a solution, because a lot of times it's going to take more than one solution to fix a problem, right? So notice what this student did. This is, I know it's more generic, it's kind of broad. She took a broad stroke. The purpose of this study, notice how it starts. The purpose of this study will be to create solutions to end the teacher shortage in, and she mentioned the name of the school, but you don't have to do that. Okay, you could just say in elementary schools. You can do that. All right, so it's a broad stroke, but then she's going to narrow it down and start telling you all the different solutions that could solve the problem, which was what? Teacher shortage. Okay, so she's talking about solutions. So she knows where she's going with this. And very simple, very sweet, straight to the point. And again, this is a good paragraph length. So I do not want to see, a paragraph is not 3 lines. That's not going to get it. No. Paragraph is not 4 lines. It needs to be at least 5 to 7 or more, which is fine. Okay. So follow this sample paper the way it is formatted. Okay. Follow it. Don't deviate. Don't do anything different from what you see in in this paper, how this student did it, because this is what we're looking for in our in each one of these papers, sample papers that I send you. This is the formatting that I'm looking for. This is the layout. This is how it should look. And even look at those, by the way, you can look at the research questions. Again, I don't want to dig too much because I've already talked about this in the first video that I sent you. So, you can even look at the research questions and how this student crafted their research questions. So, use these weekly papers, sample papers, as a guide, and you will be fine. If you have any questions for me, let me know. I am here for you. I will chat with you soon.